Never let anyone steal the joy that you have in your heart. That joy comes from God, and the joy of the Lord is your strength. Why are you so happy all the time? What drug are you on to make you this happy every day? How can you still have joy when you're in a terrible situation? I've heard these statements. They became my inspiration to make this video today. The simple answer to these questions is my faith in God and knowing what He has done for me. If you're new here, welcome to Faith with Melody. This is a channel where my goal is to help you to grow in your faith and become closer to Jesus. We're reading from 1 Chronicles chapter 16 and verse 31 to 33. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Tell all the nations the Lord reigns. Let the sea and everything in it shout His praise. Let the fields and their crops burst out with joy. Let the trees of the forest sing with joy before the Lord, for He is coming to judge the earth. It also says that the joy of the Lord is my strength. As a Christian, we are even called to be joyful. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 16, it's a very short verse, 3 words: always be joyful. Does this mean that we cannot be sad, that we can't feel anger, that we can't even maybe feel depressed sometimes? Absolutely not. To be happy is one thing, to have joy is another. That means that I can go through trials and tribulations and I can have like a really bad day, but that doesn't mean that I lose my joy. Joy comes from the inside. Joy comes from knowing God and knowing what He's done for me and knowing that I can trust Him completely. No matter the circumstances, no matter the situation, I can always trust God. And true joy comes from knowing who God is and what He's capable of doing in our lives. True joy is knowing that He loves us unconditionally and that through grace we are saved. Even though the news might tell you that it's bad out there and you should be worried and you should be sad and unjust things are happening in this world, absolutely we can. The Bible also says to weep with those who weep and to be glad with those that are happy. But the joy that comes from the inside, the joy of the Lord is my strength. To be joyful because of the Lord. It's not dependent on things happening around us, but it's dependent on God and God alone. We can have a day where things go great for us and we get filled with happiness. We laugh and we're happy, but you probably know that many days we can feel happiness, but there is a sadness inside in our hearts. If you have the joy of the Lord, you can be sad, but in your heart, you still have joy. This might seem strange, but you really have to know God and know this joy. You have to experience this joy in order to truly know what I'm talking about. I encourage you to seek God and seek the joy that comes from Him. God never promised us an easy life. He never promised us that we would be happy every single day and that things would just go our way and that we would never feel disappointed or sad. But joy changes everything. If we have a joyful heart, it will change our outlook on life. If we can thank God in the middle of the storm, if we can say, Lord, I don't understand this situation right now, but I thank you for what I'm going through. I thank you for the lesson you're teaching me in this. You got something amazing going on there. We're going to read from Philippians chapter 4 and verse 4. Always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. The joy that comes from knowing God, it's a completely different thing than earthly happiness. This joy will make you strong in hard situations. This joy will keep you going when it seems hopeless. And you might be asking, how can I be joyful? how can I have more joy in my life? And my number one tip would be to spend quality time with Jesus, to dig into the Word, to truly get yourself an understanding of who He is and what He has done for you personally in your life, what He did when He died for you on the cross, and what the resurrection truly is all about. Because if there's something we can be happy about, that we can truly have joy over, it's the resurrection. When Jesus rose from the dead, that's true joy right there. I mean, the gospel is a message of hope and of joy. So if you feel like you don't have that inner joy in your life, just happiness every once in a while, pray to God to help you to get that joy. You can't make up excuses for this, like, oh no, but I had a really bad day and that's why I don't feel joy. Or this happened to me, so I can't have that joy in my heart. But you can. You maybe can't be happy after something happened to you, or this day just didn't turn out the way you thought it would. But that joy, never let anyone steal the joy that you have in your heart. That joy comes from God, and the joy of the Lord is your strength. So trust in Him. Let Him lead you. Once you realize that God is in control, it's so much easier to find that joy and to keep it within your heart. It says in Proverbs 17 verse 22, a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength. So if you don't have this joy in your heart, you will feel weak, and this will become physical as well. You will feel weak in your body as well as your soul, and that might even lead to depression. If you have a testimony about how you were in a really dark place and God helped you up and God gave you that joy in your heart that only comes from Him, I would love to hear those stories. Comment down below and we will strengthen each other and help each other in this. God be with you and bless you, and we will see you in the next video.